Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Guilty. Stay tuned. So I have pretty much stopped buying paper pads, and normally I'll buy my paper by the sheet. And why do I do that? Because I don't know if you're like this at all, but I am so guilty of buying a paper pad because a few pieces in that pad caught my eye, because then the pad goes to waste, because there are other patterns in that pad that just aren't me, or they're not eye-catching to me, or they're not my favorite. So what do I do after I've used the papers in a pad that I'm fond of? I'll take the pad, put it in a stack, and a lot of times, unless I have a specific need for something that's in that pad, it'll just sit there and sit there. And I have pads that have been sitting for years. So I'm raising my hand, guys, and I'm saying that I'm guilty. However, I am going to try to change, and I am going to try to make a change starting today. I am going to try to make it a point to craft some of those paper pads that maybe I haven't used in a while, or maybe there are some pieces in those pads that I'm not too fond of, or some of the pages just aren't me, and I am going to try to start crafting those. I can't say that I won't backslide and go back to my old favorites. I am going to try to pull in some of those papers that might have been sitting there for 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 years. Literally 12 years. So today we're going to do two things. We are going to use some scraps, some scrap chipboard, and some scrap paper. And I am going to pull a piece of paper from a paper pad that I am absolutely not fond of, but I'm going to dress it up a little bit so that we can use it in our project, so that whoever I would give it to would be happy to receive it. So I am going to show you guys what we're going to be doing today, and this is what we're going to be focused on. So I'm going to use some of my chipboard to make an adorable chipboard Easter tag, because we have chipboard scraps galore. We can pull those out and we can turn them into tags. We can turn them into pieces of ephemera. So many things that we can do. And then I'm going to take a piece of orphaned paper and we're going to turn it into a sweet little gift bag that we could also present with this tag. Now, the paper that I used to make this bag was really a piece that I misscored. So I went back and rescored it for the purposes of making this bag. But the piece that I'll be using in the project is a piece that you've probably never seen me craft with before. And you'll probably say, that's not really her style, because it's not. But I do want to start using those. So y'all know what time it is? It is time to make it. All right, guys, so here is a close-up look of that sweet little bag. And what I'm doing in this project really is I'm using scraps, and then I'm using papers from a paper pack that I ordinarily probably would not craft with, and I'm going to turn those papers into bags, then dress them up, add my sweet little tags, and then we'll have a gift set ready to go. So you can see that I added some of the Anna Griffin die-cut Easter eggs here at the bottom, put a little bit of that Easter clover. Then I added one of the tags that I made using scrap chipboard, scrap paper, and some of the Anna Griffin embellishments. We are about to do this right now. So here is my scrap piece of chipboard. I'm only going to make one tag with you guys, and this piece measures 3 by 5, and I went ahead and cut the edges to try to make it look more like a tag. Then I have some scrap pieces. Then I have a piece of decorative paper from a paper pad that I ordinarily would not craft with, because this just really isn't me, but I think that it would make a really sweet and really cute little gift bag. So this is what we're going to use to make the gift bag. Then I have this scrap that's left over from one of the books that you guys saw me make recently. And I also have this scrap piece. So I am going to go ahead and just make my tag first. So I'm going to place down some tape so that I can get this tag mounted to some paper. I'm just going to trim away that excess tape. And I'll peel away my tape. And this is just a fun way that we can use our scraps, especially as we approach a holiday season or a birthday or an anniversary. If you happen to have embellishments that fall in line with that, why not pull them out if you need something in a hurry and use that to make your gift tag or your gift bag or your gift. So I have this piece covered. I am going to go ahead and cover the back since it looks like I do have enough to use that same color scheme. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place down some more tape. And sometimes when I'm making tags, I don't always cover the back, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just cover that back. Trim away my excess tape. Make sure that's nice and stuck. And then we'll peel away that backer. And now I'm just going to trim around this tag and toss the excess because there's not enough for me to use on anything else. And I'm not sure about y'all, but my scraps can build up pretty quickly. And y'all, sometimes I'll look at my scrap bin and I will go, my goodness, I really need to start doing more scrap crafting because our scraps can build up very quickly, especially if you're working with chipboard. Those of you who have been working with chipboard for just a few months, you know how many chipboard scraps you probably have right now. So I am going to use this Distress ink, and it is the Walnut Stain by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And I'm just going to go around the edges just a little bit to knock off some of that brightness. So now I'm just going to take some of my Anna Griffin pieces and place them down, but I am going to knock off just a little bit of the brightness on these die cuts. And the die cuts that I'm using are from the Anna Griffin Vintage Easter die cuts. I know that some of you have asked where you can get these. They're no longer available unless she brings them back on her website. Now on her website, she does have some Easter rub-ons and some Easter stickers, but these are actually paper die cuts. So I want to make sure that you guys aren't confused when you go to her site and you purchase the stickers or the rub-ons. They are not the same as what I'm using here, but they are just as beautiful, so you can definitely get this look. So let's go ahead and just add a little bit to that egg. Now I'm going to take one of my pieces of greenery, and I didn't take a picture of this because I don't have many pieces, and so I can pretty much figure out where I want them to go. So I'm going to take that piece, position it right there at the top, and then I'm going to take my bunny and just place a little bit of glue, and I'll take him, put him right there. A portion is going to hang over, and that is more than okay with me. So now I'm going to take my egg, add some glue, and I'm going to position that egg right there. So now I have 2 eggs instead of 1 on there. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to this greenery. And I am going to take this Easter clover and place it right there. And I think that that is just so pretty. So then I'm just going to take this that says a friendly hello, add just a little bit of glue to the back, place that down right there at the bottom, and just sort of pop it up a little bit without using a pop dot. So I'm just pushing it in so that it'll give me somewhat of a raised look without using a pop dot. And so then I have this sweet pink bow. I am going to take that bow and tuck it right there under his chin, just to make that a little cute. Now I'm going to bring in my Crocodile Big Bite. I have it set on my 3/16 setting. I'm going to punch a hole. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of twine, and I am going to take that twine, put it through the hole, pull it, and now I have a sweet little tag that I can use on the bag that we are about to make. So I have a 12 by 11 inch piece, and on the 12-inch side, I am going to score at 1.5, and then I am going to score at 10.5. I'm going to rotate this to the 11-inch side, and we're going to score at 3.5, at 5, at 8.5, and at 10. Then we are going to fold and burnish all of those scores. Then once you have your paper folded and burnished, you are going to have one corner piece that you need to get rid of. Doesn't matter which end, but it's going to be a small corner piece, and we need to get rid of that. So I am just going to get rid of that piece by cutting it out. And then when we remove that piece, that's the bottom. So I am going to go to wherever I have a score mark along that bottom and just angle out. And that's the bottom of my bag. Now I'm going to take this piece and we're going to fold it over just like this. So I am going to take my tape runner, add some tape, fold that over, get that nice and stuck. Then I'll go back and just reinforce those folds at the top. And now we have our bag and we're ready to put it together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put mine together using glue. You can use tape for this. If you're not putting anything heavy in it, you can also use your tape runner, but just make sure it's a good quality tape runner. But it's only if you're not putting anything heavy that you can use that tape runner. I have my glue on that side. I am just going to take this, and when I put it together, I am matching top to top, and then I want to make sure that I have everything nice and even at the top and down the sides. And now you can see we have a sweet little flat fold bag, and this is the front of the bag. So before I actually close this, I'm going to go ahead and decorate right above that fold at the bottom. All right, so what I have decided on is I am going to use one of the brown bunnies because I think I can make him really pop out, and I'm going to use one of the roses. So I am just going to take some of my glue, place my glue on this piece. Then I'm going to take this rose and just make sure that I have it placed above my line. I'm going to take my bunny and just add a little glue to the bunny. And we can position him down however we want. And then the last thing that I'm going to place is I have these little wild strawberries that I'm going to place right by his feet. And I think they're strawberries. That's what they look like to me, but someone else might come back and say, no, those aren't strawberries. So I'm just going to call them strawberries until somebody tells me what they really are. So I'm going to place that right there. And now I have that sweet little scene on this bag. So I am going to go ahead and fold in my sides, place some glue, And then I'll bring that back piece in. And then I'll place some glue here. And we'll fold that piece over. I'm going to stand this up to make sure that I have everything nice and straight. Then when I do, I'll just rub along the bottom to get that glue stuck. Then I'm going to take my hands, pinch in at the top just like that, and then I'll just start pinching down as far as I want to take that pinch. And so now I have this sweet little Easter bag that I'm able to use as a gift. Now if you're going to place anything with some weight in your bag, make sure that you're using glue or double stick tape and not your tape runner, because the tape runners really won't hold a lot of weight, but your glue and your double stick tape will. So make sure that you're using that. And then I would also add a piece of chipboard to the bottom of this bag to help hold the weight of whatever you're going to put in it. So if you're going to cut a piece of chipboard for the bottom, and that piece of chipboard can be cut at 1 3/8 by 3 3/8. So then if you want to double stack that chipboard, just cut 2 pieces using those same measurements. But you'll have a beautiful, sturdy bag. And this is just a great way of showing how if you have papers in your pad that you aren't too fond of, take them and dress them up with some embellishments and turn them into bags. Because we always need a bag, whether it's a large bag or a small bag. We can always use bags for party favors. We can always use bags to gift little baked goods. Whatever it is you might need a bag for, go ahead and pull out some of those papers that you probably wouldn't ordinarily craft and turn them into something really pretty. So I am going to bring in the first bag so that you can see I have the tag attached, and all I did was punch the hole and ran my twine through so that I could tie this off as a sweet little punch the hole, ran my twine through so that I could tie it off as a sweet little tag on my gift bag. And here we have the gift bag that we made. And here we have the gift bag that we just made along with the tag. So you can see that we do have some options, because you can use this bag without a tag. Just place something along the bottom and create the tag scene on the bag. Or you have a scene on the bag. You can also just add your tag to this and make it even more elaborate. So guys, I hope that you have liked this fun, quick and easy way that we can use some scraps along with papers that we might not be too fond of in our crafting. Because I'm as guilty as the next person of, if I buy a paper pad and it has papers in it that I don't really like, I normally don't craft with those. But let's get in the habit of looking at those papers differently, pulling them out, and finding something that we can do with them. So I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.